Hello everyone, Hunter from Gaming by Gamers here. Today we're going to be playing an arcade game, but because it isn't made anymore and I don't own an arcade cabinet, we're going to have to play
an emulator.
I asked Sega for the permission, but they didn't get back to me, so I'm just going to assume that means it's okay. I mean, there's no legal way of playing it, so it seems morally okay to me. Doesn't it seem morally okay to you?
Please open up!
Well, I managed to get out on parole, but we still have a job to do. Let's check out the one and only SpiderMan arcade game. Before we jump into that though, I just want to say thank you to this week's sponsor, TubeBuddy. They sponsored this video, and if you stick around towards the end of the video, I'll talk a little more about them. Let's jump right into the game. This is a 4-player co-op game, but the closest thing I have to a friend is the fungus that's growing on my socks. So I'm gonna go solo. It's an arcade game, so you don't really expect much from the story, but it is honestly more interesting than the last two we played. There's a power stone missing and we have to find it. And then, Spider-Man talks for the first time in a video game.
Spider sense tingling, signaling danger. Trouble up ahead. Let's go, Spider-Man.
The voice is alright. There's been plenty of Spider-Man voice actors over the years, so it's not as jarring as something like the original Mario voice and the Charles Martinet voice we all know and love. But then we get to the gameplay, and after all the other games on this list, this is a breath of fresh air. This game is fun. Sure, it's just a standard beat 'em up, but it's just fun. Your punches feel like they have weight. Spider-Man has 2 web attacks he can do, and it's the right level of difficulty. That being said, there is some stuff that isn't perfect. It is an arcade machine, and it is made to take your quarters. Your health is constantly ticking down, and bosses go off screen for a while, taking a decent chunk of health. While we're on the topic, let's talk about boss battles. The roster is good, and this time there's no gorilla. I never imagined a gorilla not being in a Spider-Man game would make me so happy. What happened? The bosses are all pretty fair, for an arcade game at least. The first boss you run into is Scorpio. He's pretty easy, but more of a mini boss, because the real fight is waiting with Venom. You fight him, and when you beat him, the game turns into a 2D side-scrolling action game. It's strange, but really fun, and it mixes up the gameplay. I really do think this was a good call. Eventually, you get to his last stage. Kingpin's there, and he says,
"It would seem that the effects of the Sorcerer's Stone have worn off."
Wait a minute, did he say Sorcerer's Stone? The rest of the game is pretty standard beat 'em up stuff. There's a couple classic bosses throughout the game, and you fight Dr. Doom at the end. This game wasn't anything special in the beat 'em up genre, but it was a lot of fun, and so far the best Spider-Man game I've played. I wish I could have experienced it years ago in a real arcade with 3 other friends and the smell of stale pizza surrounding us. Spider-Man the arcade game gets 8 out of 10 radioactive spiders. Alright, that was a lot of fun actually. Let's hope the next game's just as fun. It's going to be Spider-Man Return of the Sinister Six on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Let's start with the title screen. Where is it? Yeah, I know it's an NES game, but this is as big as I could get it, so you're gonna have to bear with me. After the title screen, we get to the story, and I say story lightly. Dr. Octopus is plotting the crowning caper of his criminal career. Yeah, and then he's gonna sell seashells with Sally by the seashore! So he wants to rule the world, and he gets the Sinister Six to help him. There are 6 stages to this game, with each stage getting a corresponding boss battle from one of the Sinister Six members. The first stage is Electro. Graphics-wise, it's hard going from an arcade game to the NES, but you have to remember, at this time, arcade machines were the most powerful gaming machines there was. At the very least, you can tell what everything is, even if it is kinda, well, small. Controls-wise, we have a punch, a flying kick, a jump, and then a huge jump. First enemy is right there. Let's see what Spider-Man's got. Okay, so Spider-Man punched this guy so hard he exploded into a few meat chunks, and he doesn't even seem to care that he just slaughtered a man. Damn, maybe JJ was right. This guy is a menace. You have a web shooter you can use, but I've never been able to fully control it. I just end up spinning around or randomly getting thrown off. and in some levels you really need to use it, so you better get practicing. For now though, we have to get through the enemies and fight Electro. He's not a hard boss, but he's a cheater. He can go underground where you can't hit him and throw lightning bolts from there. He only takes a few kicks to the head, so the fight is over pretty quick. I don't even know what he's supposed to be defending. His clock collection? When the next level started, I was surprised to find out your health doesn't refill, and you only get one continue?
Well, that changes everything. Electro seems a lot harder now, because if I get hit by him, later down the line, I'm gonna get hit by a random enemy and get a game over.
The way they counter this is you can get health back by brutally slaughtering these guys, and when you get 1,000 points, you get a bar of health back. In the normal missions, it's a good idea, but when you're facing a boss, it can ruin your run because there isn't always enemies to get health from. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but you don't know you only have one continue until you die, so you can lose a lot of progress just from an early mistake. Good on paper, bad in practice. Something we've seen before in this series and something we're gonna see again. The next stage is Sandman, and besides being a maze because so many of the textures are reused, it's not horrible.
But what do I spy with my little eye? Rats.
This time they are these weird naked pink rats, and they don't even hurt you. They are in this game only to annoy the absolute shit out of you. This is me trying to get up this rope, but you have to be in the exact spot it wants you to be before you can climb it. But these stupid rats keep hitting me and knocking me out of place. I was getting anxiety whenever I fell down this pit because of these rats. They weren't physically hurting me, they were mentally hurting me. Why am I getting bullied by rats in a subpar Spider-Man game? At the very least, this is the only level that features them prominently. Sandman is so easy it's unnotable, but the Mysterio level is interesting. There's 3 parts to it, and you have to go up elevators into pitch black rooms that you can only see if you grab the night vision goggles. Honestly, a great level that fits his character. The only thing that stuck out as odd was randomly we go from fighting normal goons with pistols to fighting something from Doom that crawled right out of hell. What is this thing? And don't make the same mistake I did and try and fight it. It'll rip your health apart 10 times faster than any other enemy. Besides that, the Mysterio fight is pretty classic. You have to fight a few fake ones and then kill the real one. I think I would have liked this a lot better if the real one actually had any difference. I killed him thinking he was just another clone, but a few seconds later the splash screen came on for the next level, and I just thought, oh, I guess that one was the real him. Huh. Nothing else is too noticeable besides 2 unique enemies. One is the Green Army toy soldiers from when we were kids. Why they are attacking Spider-Man, I have no idea. And the other is this guy who looks like he's flipping a pancake at him. Why would a chef attack Spider-Man? And why would he use a pancake to do it? You finish off the rest of the Sinister Six, and Spider-Man stands over what I can only assume is the memory of them, because we saw Spider-Man punch them into oblivion. This one wasn't the most annoying, it was just kind of forgettable, honestly. I'm gonna have to give this one 5 Dead Uncle Bens out of 10.
Well, that was alright. I guess. I mean, like I said, it's nothing special. This next game, though, this is special. The Amazing Spider-Man 3 Invasion of the Spider Slayers. That's right, we're finishing the Bits Studio trilogy.
I like how the title screen is normal and doesn't move around.
Oh, wait.
I feel like even they didn't want you to see this. Not that the title art is bad, actually I think it's the best of the 3, but I feel like they wanted to hide this thing. Well, let's start with the first level. We have to stop 20 muggers. It turns out at the park, it's National Trench Coat Day, so everyone's wearing one. When they open their coat, they will either have a newspaper, nothing, a gun, or oh god! They only count as criminals after you see them whip out the gun, so you can't just attack everyone. You have to wait. Eventually though, they just stopped spawning. I walked back and forth, and after like the 5th one, they were gone. But there is another criminal you can fight, and that's the skateboarders. Yeah, for some reason the skateboarders count as criminals, and not only can you knock them off their board, for me, I had to kill every one of them because the flashers stopped spawning. It's so annoying to kill them because they're slightly faster than you, so you can't catch up to them. But trying to time them coming at you without getting hit yourself is close to impossible. After a while, and the timer's starting to get low, you beat the level and can jump over the wall. Now you fight a pretty boring boss battle. It's not really much of a challenge. Getting hurt doesn't really feel like a consequence, so the only thing you can really do is just take your lumps and hit him more than he hits you. Also, obviously, the game looks terrible. Everything is hard to see. The second game was rough, but not this bad. They tried too much detail on hardware that couldn't handle it. What am I even looking at right here? Once you beat this guy, just move on to the next level. And here's my tipping point. In this level, you're supposed to wall crawl to the top of the building and fight this bird that is constantly dropping Wendy's chicken nuggets on you. First First off, that's infuriating, but even getting on the building is horrible. The hit detection is ass. You bump your head on nothing, and in order to wall crawl, you have to double jump. Once you do, it'll stick you on a wall if you are lucky enough. But if I'm being honest, you'd have a better chance of winning the lottery and getting struck by lightning at the same time. And even when I do get up, where am I supposed to go from here? The wall is broken, so I can't get up that, and this one has a stupid hit detection. I can't beat this level. This game is broken. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about this, because if I can't beat the third level in your game without a guide and 6 weeks training, then I'm not wasting my time on it. This game is bad. It's so bad, I'm not even gonna give it a fake rating. This is a 1 out of 10 game. It barely qualifies as a game. This is a punishment. The only reason I'm giving it a 1 instead of a 0 is because there's a cool 3D effect it does when you swing your web. Besides that, this game is garbage and deserves to be forgotten.
I just couldn't do it. Hopefully the rest of the games aren't as bad as this one, but that's all we're going to have time for today. I wanted to thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoyed, hit subscribe and press that bell to be notified when the next episode of Web Series comes out. Thanks again and have a great day. On this show, we've seen a lot of crap. But here's something that's actually good. Our sponsor, TubeBuddy.
TubeBuddy is a free browser extension that helps YouTubers big and small spend less time managing videos so you can spend more time creating them. They have tons of time-saving features to help you manage your channel. For example, I love using the bulk card updates feature. With that, I can update my end cards with new videos all at once.
So if you're looking to step up your YouTube channel for free, TubeBuddy.com is the place to go. The link's right in the description. Thank you again, TubeBuddy, for the sponsorship, and have a great day.